Today on Jill of All Trades, I'm going to show you how to change out a wiper motor for a rear wiper. If you've got an older vehicle and you live on a dirt road like I do, or in a northern climate, also like I do, you're going to get a lot of corrosion around that wiper. At some point, it's going to seize up. I see it on other vehicles all the time. It just happened to mine, and here's how you change it. It's not as hard as you think. I'll show you what you need for tools first. You're going to need a socket set, an adjustable wrench, a flat blade screwdriver, or a scraping tool, something else with a flat blade, and a gear puller. Now, I don't have a gear puller, but you can actually go to your local auto parts store and borrow one. You put down a deposit, borrow the tool. When you bring the tool back, you get your deposit back. It doesn't cost you anything. So let's start by taking apart the outside part of the wiper. I have a 2011 Grand Cherokee. This will work for many Grand Cherokees. Actually, this process is probably not vastly different from any vehicle. First thing you have to do is loosen this nut on the outside. On my vehicle, this is a 10 millimeter. So we're just going to take a socket and loosen that. Now, to get this off is going to be tough. That's where we need the gear puller. I had actually never used a gear puller before, but it's not hard to figure out. You get the little prongs under the wiper edge. It's a little tricky. There, and you'll be able to pull that right off. Next thing we have to do is pull off this little rubber cover. That should come off pretty easily. But chances are, if your wiper is older, you're going to have a bunch of corrosion under here. So now we're going to loosen this with an adjustable wrench. That should come off fairly easily. That does not need to actually be that tight, and you'll have a little washer under there too. We'll save that, and then we're going to pull this plastic piece off and just wiggle it off. Now we're done on the outside. We have to go to the inside. All right, on the inside, this is your whole motor assembly. First we have to pop this cover off. It's got 4 little fasteners. There we go. Next, you have to unhook your power supply. You just have to press in and then pull that out. Now we just have to undo these 2 nuts and these 2 hex screws right here. And now that whole thing comes out, including the rest of your plastic cover. So that's your motor assembly. Pops right out. I'm going to reverse the process now so you know how to put it back in. Make sure you have this washer on. Oops. I will say I took my old one apart and tried to clean it and repair it, and it was so much work. I don't think it was worth doing. It's so easy just to put the whole assembly in. I think that's the way to go. Once we have the small screws in, make sure you still have your big washer. Line up the stem so it goes through the window, and your big screws, and then make sure that your power cord still goes through the slot where it's supposed to be. After that, just reconnect your power. It should snap right in, and your cover goes back on. Now we go back outside. Now we're back outside the vehicle. We just reversed that process. After that, just snap your plastic cover back on. Boom, done. Let's test it out. There you go. Replace the rear wiper motor, not that hard, with Jill of All Trades. I'm so excited.